This is Italy Prime Minister. She's talking the same thing some of us have been talking for years. But the world will pay attention because it's coming from a white woman's lip. And it's good that it comes from one of their lips, because if one of us say that, they'll say, oh, we're being biased and we're being racist. So now she's speaking the truth, and what she's speaking is absolute truth. Listen to what she have to say.
Is not to take Africans and move them to Europe. The solution is to free Africa from certain Europeans who exploit it and allow these people to live off what they have. This is called the CFA franc, a colonial currency that France prints for 14 African nations, and by virtue of which it exploits the resources of this nation. This is a child working in a gold mine in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is one of the poorest nations in the world.
And hold up, Burkina Faso is only one of the poorest nations in the world because the French government has been looting and pillaging her minerals. But by all sense of the word, Burkina Faso is wealthy and rich in raw materials and minerals. But because they have been stealing and looting and pillaging the minerals, that's why it seems like they're poor. But they're not poor. But now we got Abraham Traoré, he's in office, and he's going to handle that. We're going to find out who's poor and who's rich. The whole world knows. If you don't know, I'm not sure what kind of rap you've been living under. But the whole world knows, or the whole world's supposed to know, that Africa has been flipping the bill for the Western nation forever, from inception. All your advancement you have, every raw materials and minerals and resources that you need to live a comfortable, modern life, civilized life, comfortable life, luxurious life, all those materials come from Africa. The raw materials is from the continent of Africa. They pillage, they loot, they steal our minerals in cahoot with some of our corrupt leaders, and they'll buy those things for pennies on the dollars, and then take those raw materials out of the continent, produce products, and ship those same products back to the continent and sell it back to us for an arm and a leg. Is that justice? Would our leaders get sense? Would our leaders wake up? Would our leaders ever stand up to these guys? I know many of the leaders that have stood up in the past, they were, you know what? They were taking. Well, I just want to correct that lady there. Burkina Faso is not poor. They are poor because their resources were stolen by Macron. But now people are waking up and getting sense. It's a new breed of Africans that are rising up. The continent time has come, it must rise. There's a mass exodus of Africans coming home. And when I say Africans, I mean black people from all over the world. Whether you're born in the Caribbean, you're born in America, you're born in the UK, you're born in Canada, you're born in Australia, if you are black, you are African. If you call yourself African American and you say you're not African, no problem. We're not going to argue and fight. It's okay. Because there's some African American who are saying, don't call them African American, you're an American, no problem. Keep telling yourself that lie. One day you're going to get sense. Or someone else say, oh, they are the first original in America they are the true Native American in America. Okay, if that's the case, wonderful. But if you do history properly, they said an African man left and went there, that he and gave birth to 3, 4, 5, 6 generations later. That how come you're there? So you still came from Africa. But if you don't get sense, no problem. If you agree, fine, you agree. You get it, you get it, you get it, you get it. You getting me? Let's hear what my sister got to say.
And move them to Europe. The solution is to free Africa from certain Europeans who exploit it and allow these people to live off what they have. This is called the CFA franc, a colonial currency that France prints for 14 African nations, and by virtue of which it exploits the resources of this nation. This is a child working in a gold mine in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is one of the poorest nations in the world. For Burkina Faso, which has gold, France prints colonial currency. In return, it demands that 50% of everything Burkina Faso exports ends up in the coffers of the French treasury. The gold that this child crawls into a tunnel to extract mostly ends up in the coffers of the French state. So, the solution is not...
I agree 100%. It is time for Africa to be set free. I'll keep repeating myself until somebody listens. Africa have more than enough natural resources to supply the world. Yet we are begging for handouts from the world. Why? Somebody put in the comment section why. I know why. I'm sure you know why. Put it there why. There's two reasons why. Put that in the comment section. But it's a new breed of African race rising up. We're not going to take this laying down or sitting down or standing up. We're not going to take it at all. It's time for a change. How can the continent be so rich and yet so poor? I will use my own country, Liberia, as an example, as one of the oldest independent nations in Africa. As one of the oldest independent nations in Africa. 176 or something years old. What do we have to boast about? What do we have to brag about? What do we have to write home about? And every year we're celebrating July 26th, we're celebrating Independence Day. Who did we get independence from, first of all? That's the first thing I want to ask. Who did we fought some kind of war or something and we got independence from whom? That's number one. Number two, our flag. We need to change our flag. Number three, we need to change our nation capital, Monrovia. If you don't know what, go do your own research. Number four, we are celebrating Independence Day every year. What exactly are we celebrating? Somebody help me to understand. What are we celebrating? No light, no running water, no infrastructure. The education system is a mess. Somebody said he's in the 10th grade. I asked him to spell me onion. He said OWN. I rest my case. The teachers himself, the one that teaching the student can't even spell. One dude say he graduate. So I told him, I said, I want you to come and be teaching my workers, because most of my workers, they up to their reading level anywhere from first grade, second grade, third grade. So I want to take their reading level from third grade to to at least high school level. That's my plan. So I hired him to be a tutor. I said, you know what a tutor is? He said, no. Can you spell a tutor? He said, no. I said, thank you, just stay home. Do you see what I'm talking about? But every year we're celebrating Independence Day, especially Liberians in the diaspora, they waste money. They rent a hall. They buy. I was there. I used to do that foolishness myself in America. We buy one dress, $500 for your dress, your shoes, $200, your hair, your makeup. You get the whole thing. Rent the hall, do the catering, get a DJ. You just waste money. If we can gather all that money together every year and begin to send it back home to build roads, to build schools, to build hospitals, to build clinics, to build factories, to create jobs, training center, centers for also for the young kids, because they need some lot of mental and emotional healing. The PTSD from the war and the PTSD from childhood trauma and abuse compounded together make the country. You see how Monrovia is dirty and filthy? When I walk around sometimes, Monrovia, the capital of Liberia, when I walk around sometimes, I look at it, I say this is also a reflection of how dirty we are. Inside, internally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we are dirty inside. So the outside is just a reflection of what's going on the inside of us Liberians. And when I say dirty inside, I don't mean physically. I mean our ways, our behavior, our attitude, our character, the way we treat each other. You see mother in the house, she will have 2, 3 kids. Maybe she will favor one because they want light skin, or maybe she like the father, whatever. She will favor one and ill treat the others. You will have grandparents who do the same thing with their children. Isn't it? You will see brothers and sisters competing, cousins fighting and competing against each other, gossiping about each other, tearing each other down on social media, destroying each other's marriages and character. Those are dirty ways. Those are dirty behaviors. Those are dirty characters. Those are dirty attitudes. That's why the country is dirty. When we clean up our act, we'll clean up the country. Because we can clean our country all we want. But if we don't change our mindset, our heart set, our ways, that country will be dirty the same way. So sometimes your outside surrounding your environment, sometimes it's merely a reflection of what's going on the inside of you. I know I'm preaching good this morning. Can I get an amen, somebody? I repeat, sometimes our surrounding, the outside of our environment, sometimes it's merely a reflection of what's going on the inside. What's going on the inside? Beloved, it's time for all of us to take a look in the mirror and check what's going on inside here and what's going on inside here. Take a mental inventory and begin to get out of the garbage, get out of the trash. Let's start loving each other and loving ourselves. Because a leader that loves himself and loves his country will not get into power for 30, 40, 50 years, and while he's in power, there's no development, and he loot the money, take it out into the Western nations, Switzerland, whatever, put the money there, keep it in the bank, or go to Dubai, or go to Paris on a shopping spree with his wife and his concubine. Those are people who are wicked. That's why sometimes I say Africa don't always have a political, economic, social, or spiritual problem. Africa sometimes have a heart problem, a heart lacking love for herself and for each other, for humanity. This is your girl Diagnet. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and let's discuss. Thank you for sharing, subscribing, and inviting. I repeat, I'm on a mission. Since I came home in 2023 June, I'm on a mission to call my people, my black African people from all over the world. I'm on a mission to call you to come home. There's no place like home, and this is your home. Come on home. I still have beach land available for sale. We have beach land, we have road land, roadside land, which will be the major land next to the major highway. We have riverview land, we have farm land, we have inland land. So I got all the land you need for sale. Don't ask me how much for it, where is it. My contact information will be in the video. Call me up on WhatsApp, we'll discuss. And you can come and get your piece of Mama Africa, because if you don't develop Liberia, you don't develop Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Namibia, Burkina Faso. If you don't develop Africa, who will? And if not you, who? If not now, when? Thank you.